Better late than never. Welcome to RTR Football. We're going to get into all of your questions tonight about the Kansas City Chiefs and this Super Bowl 55. We're having a couple of technical difficulties tonight. Don't be alarmed. One way or the other, we'll get here. Dan Harms can hear me. I don't know if he can speak, but give it a shot.
Yeah, I can see you got a bit of a lag going on, but I think we'll be able to make this work regardless. So
one way or the other, Chiefs Kingdom put up with me a little bit longer. I promise you this will eventually get corrected. Lot to go over tonight. A lot of news today. We'll get into some of the funnier aspects, especially if you followed my Twitter, because I tweeted something on my lunch break that everybody got kind of fired up about. So we're going to get into the details. We're going to get into your questions. If you've already asked one, I appreciate that. I'm going to start from scratch because this chat is not going to help me flow any better. First shout out, though, Reed Ross, welcome to the memberships. The members get some special treatment around here. You get a few extra videos. I have to make an announcement tonight. The Zoom for the All-Star or All-Pro and Elite level members, it is going to get bumped a week. We're not going to do it tomorrow night. There's just too much going on Super Bowl week, and I'm pulled in way too many directions. So we'll bump that back a week. We'll do our hangout, and everybody will be able to watch that on replay. But I will have a video for you tomorrow that will be for the members, so everybody keep an eye out for that. Another member showed up, and I appreciate that. Michael, longtime friend. Glad that you made it into the memberships. And folks, if you want to support us, the memberships are a way to do it. You can do the super chats and the super stickers as well. It helps me pick them out of the chat, as do question marks at the beginning of your question. And that's a long way to say Devin White does not know how to lie.
I mean, come on, like you think you really think that we're gonna believe you come out here and telling us what you're going to do on defense? Just plain out. Yeah, we're just gonna have him just take Travis Kelce. You know, I don't want to deal with it. Basically,
I'm gonna do a short video on it tomorrow for the Tuesday first draft vid. That'll be included in it. And I'll explain to you guys. But go check it out. It's on the audio part is on the Locked On Chiefs podcast from tonight. But long and short, he said, and there was a long silence. Like, how are we going to cover Travis? Yeah, we're going to put Levante on him because I ain't doing it.
Basically. Like, I don't want any part of it.
Which I think is a total fabrication. I mean, you get confronted like with a question like that. You can either say, no comment, I can't answer that, we have a plan. Or you can say something just completely out in left field because Levante's hurt. He didn't practice last week. He's having some issues. Even when he is healthy, he can't keep up with Travis. And quite frankly, the only option is to put Devin on him because Devin has the athleticism to keep up with him. And I think that's got to be their first tactic. Do you?
I mean, they don't really have much of a choice. It's going to be, you figure that David at his 75, 80% can maybe take some of the running back responsibility out of the backfield. But then if you don't put Devin White on Travis Kelce, he's going to go for 500 yards.
Yeah.
There's nobody you have. Maybe Sean Murphy Bunting has an opportunity to body him up a little bit, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they have to take away that even playing their last scheme, their basic defense, and keeping linebackers on him, he went for 82 yards last game. If you can keep Travis Kelce at 82 yards in the Super Bowl, you're doing your job. You're going to be okay with that. I mean, it then turns to, when you got Tyreek going, to the yard four times.
Yeah, 82 yards in hindsight's pretty good, but when you figure Tyreek had 257 or whatever it was, it's not so great.
This conversation is not about Tyreek.
I'm just saying.
They're trying to forget that. I think it's great that he was able to do it, and with mostly a straight face. You guys will see it tomorrow. I'll do a little write-up on it, and it'll preview basically some of the key matchups that we will then hit, of course, on the Friday game plan, which will likely this week, because of all the other commitments, be a live stream again. So if we caught anybody off guard last week on the Friday live stream, apologies. We'll probably do it the same exact way, just because the prep time, there's so much going on. Trying to even get caught up on a night like tonight when there were 8 pressers times 2 is nearly impossible. So I can't tell you all of it. But that said, that was a good piece. That was my takeaway from this morning. So we're going to jump into the questions. And as Michael joined, he also asked a question. I want to make sure that we get to that. So we'll hit it. Thoughts on whether JPP's comments about not even knowing Remmer's name is bulletin board material for Remmers, or if they'd care less? I don't think they even care. Remmers is a vet. He's played in the league. He got beat up by Von Miller as a rookie. He's survived. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, if anything, that's more bulletin board material for him because he was in the Super Bowl before and it didn't go so well. So you don't want to have that in both Super Bowls. I think that's more what he's going to be looking at for his motivation in this game personally.
It's a very, very good point. I don't think they have to worry about that. Tactics. People chose Bills versus Packers as the Super Bowl. They chose the quarterbacks with the worst facial hair. I'm glad that you noticed these things. Never occurred to me.
Had no clue that was an option.
And you also said our corners and safety blitz is a new concept. Brady and Breeze seem confused by them. It's not that they're a new concept. It's that, especially for a young player, particularly Sneed and Fenton, they're disguising it pretty well. And I think that's really the key because you don't get that pre-snap read, especially when you're talking about like a nickel blitz.
Yeah.
Like they have to take a look at their shoulders, at their hips a little bit. They can't see their feet through the line most of the time. So there's a little bit of things. There's gamesmanship that I think they're doing pretty well.
Well, that, and if you guys read Matt, I'm going to butcher his last name, Verdame, his article on L'Jarius Sneed, he talked about he had never actually blitzed in college. Like this is his first time ever blitzing. So maybe part of it comes from the fact that they don't expect these guys to blitz because, one, they're rookies and they haven't really done it before in their careers. So if you can get all of that pre-snap motion or pre-snap movement out of the way, you can kind of hide yourself behind some of the defensive line, offensive line members, and then you start some of that post-snap movement that Spags is very, very good at doing. That draws a quarterback's attention first, and then you have Sneed coming off the edge or Sorensen coming off the edge or Fenton. So you got to be able to process. Brady's he's the most, probably the best quarterback in the NFL ever from a mental aspect. He's so good at knowing what's happening, but even that's a tough ask for someone to read post-snap movement, also trying to figure out where a blitz is coming from.
Mm-hmm. It just makes it challenging, especially if you're not the fastest mover as you get older. It just is what it is. Let's see. Chris Pete, should the defensive back spend some time on the jugs? I mean, they're doing okay. There's one that might need it, but most of them are going to come down with balls that they get their hands on. So
they'll be all right.
Yeah. Rich Triple, you have a very good point. I believe running up the middle against the Bucs defense will be fruitless. Do you agree? For the most part, I would agree. I would say run off tackle, run the pitch, run the counter. But there will be times, especially if you get him in the nickel, where they take Vita out. Vita doesn't play 100% of their snaps. Yeah. When he's gone, I would run up in there and make sure that you test it and keep him honest.
You kind of have to. And I would love to see Reed do some draws, because I think that's one way you can attack a good front that's trying to get after the quarterback and Patrick Mahomes. But Reed does not like to ever use draws, ever. Like, I don't remember the last time I've seen a draw play.
Interesting question, and I guess we're not going to be all Super Bowl all night. This is easy. This is Derek Thomas.
Yeah, it's not close, guys. Like, Will Shields is great. Derek Thomas is like all time.
Will Shields is a Hall of Famer at guard. There's a reason. Eric Miller, do you think the Chiefs tried to get out wide running? Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. Ralph Fredrickson, welcome to the memberships. Again, there'll be a new video tomorrow for you members, so enjoy that. Give me some feedback as well. Universal, will Darrell Williams be the starter or Clyde? My guess is it'll be Clyde, and Darrell will probably get 40% of the snaps, something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking more to about what the Chiefs did with the Saints, where they had there was basically a timeshare back there. It was 15 and 14 runs, actually 15 and 16 touches, respectively, for both of them. So I think that's what we're going to be looking at in this game too.
Adam Roach, are you worried that the Tampa Bay D will force the Chiefs to go deep and test the O-line to hold up? Worried? No. If they want to bait the Chiefs into going deep, they're all for it.
I welcome this strategy.
That's like, oh, you want me to throw it that way?
I think a lot of people don't realize that it takes about 2.5 seconds less than 2.5 seconds for Tyreek and McColl to get loose deep, like free, if they want to test that stuff. And you need more time to get to Mahomes, even with this offensive line. I would not recommend doing that.
Yeah, if they want to go single high and play man, I'm all for it, because not only can he get the ball out in 2.5 to a deep route, but he'll also throw it up before they're loose. I mean, he'll throw it at 2 and let them go get it. He has faith, especially in Tyreek. So yes, it's going to be a challenge for the offensive line, but I don't think that's going to keep them. And I don't think they're going to bait him into going deep. Todd should have learned his lesson. He'll be in cover 4 and cover 6 most of the night is my guess. I don't know. I'd like to think so. I like Todd. Todd Bowles is a good coach.
I just know that it's very, very difficult to break something that you've done all season for one game.
Yeah, especially when it is who you are. He's an aggressive coach.
That's who they are.
He's a lot like Spags. So, Timothy, isn't it true that Fisher was out for the Tampa Bay game earlier this year? No. I mean, the NFL commentators are making a big deal of the Chiefs not having their starting left and right tackles. No, Fish played the first time. Fish missed a couple of games in the 2019 season.
Yeah.
But not now. No, it is kind of a big deal. The good thing is that Remmer's been playing all season for Mitch, so it's not like he's coming in cold.
Yeah,
and moving Wiley over, I think is fine. We both like him actually at tackle and think this will be okay. And honestly, if anybody's going to come in off the bench cold, I'm comfortable with it being Wiz.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, he was a starter last year in the Super Bowl. He's the most experienced offensive lineman on this outside of Fisher, who's now not going to be playing. So yeah, it kind of, in my opinion, works out a little bit better for them.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, Chad. It'll be Remmers on the left. It'll be Wiley on the right. They'll have some backups just in case. Folks, if I missed your super chat, I apologize. It looks like I'm not getting pinged, but if you want to super chat us, make sure you ask something so I can get you something for it. Super chats always draw attention. And before I go any farther, salute. Here's to a Monday night. I'm drinking a Wiley Roots chili and cocoa nib stout.
That sounds very good. That sounds very good.
Yeah, like it's burning. I like it.
That's good right there.
Speaking of hot and spicy, well done. How much Senior Bowl TV have you watched? I've watched most of the DBs on day one's practice, and that's all I've gotten to.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of one-on-ones, offensive line, defensive line, wide receivers, corners. I've watched some quarterback drills, but I haven't gotten to the game. So
yeah, the game is my least worry, to tell you the
truth.
Like
that doesn't have. I really don't even think I need to watch it, to be honest with you.
This is a good one. Lucas Clamens, over under on 2 turnovers for the Chiefs defense.
I like a push. I like 2. I would say over, because I think that I just think that they're going to be able to get Brady uncomfortable, and he's going to throw up prayers like he has all season.
Yeah, I mean, there's still matchups to like in there, you guys, and I feel like, as well as they did the first time, I feel they can get more. And you saw what happened when he does get rattled. There's clearly he is who he is still.
Excuse me.
But he's just more vulnerable, I think, is the best way to put it. Stevie Keys, member extraordinaire. What do you got? With as good a run D as the Bucs are, especially with Vita Vea, and how efficient and deficient the Chiefs O is, can the RPO game still be effective? Yes. And if so, how? It's not just the sprint pitch thing, but the actual RPO, because the play action is the key to the RPO. So if you're getting guys biting, especially Devin White, there's going to be some options there. And I think, again, the RPO can still be delivered in under 2.5 seconds. I'm perfectly comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because they're going to get some looks where Mahomes should hand the ball off. They're going to get those looks because I think that you're going to see a lot of linebackers stay in their passing lanes early because they don't want to get beat, much like they did in the first time. So I think that you're going to see opportunity for the Chiefs to run the football successfully on first and second down when they have those RPO looks. And it's going to be up to Mahomes to find them because I know he likes to pull it and still throw it anyway when he gets a proper run fit look. So that'll be up to him to make the right read and actually get 5 to 6 yards on first down if they decide to do an RPO with an actual run fit look that looks favorable for them.
Yeah, that'll be the challenge. You got to keep an eye on that when it does happen, you guys. Josh, do you see us using Thornhill the same way that Matthew can roam like versus the Bills? They like to make them interchangeable. It won't be exactly the same because I think in most situations, unless they're really, really showing you Tyron deep, it's going to be, even if in 2 safety, it's going to be Juan up top, Tyron and the robber. The interesting thing is when they pull Tyron down to the nickel, what's Dan doing? Because sometimes they'll rotate him into the robber, sometimes he'll take the top. And I think that what we saw from last week was Juan returning to his physical capabilities. He got his hands on a couple of passes, had PBUs, but didn't come up with them. I think he does it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's good. That's a really good prediction right there. I agree with that.
let's see. I can see Frank stopping the rush, reading a check down, and getting a pick six. It is possible. I just don't know how much. I think they should. If I'm the Tampa Bay staff, I want to get the running backs involved in the pass game. I just don't know if they will.
I mean, they have shown they want to, but they can't catch passes to save their life. They have stone hands back there and Fournette and Jones. They just drop everything.
So for me, I keep doing it because I want it to happen. Do you write it off at this point?
No, they're still going to do it. They've shown that even though they're not very good at catching the football, they still need to because their defenses are more focused on the weapons on the outside and up top, so that they tend to leave them more in the flat, kind of like the Chiefs' offense against defenses. You see running backs in the flats a little bit more than you normally would against most other teams, and they're going to try to utilize them. But if you're dropping passes, you're dropping passes.
Yeah. Ian, the key to this game, I think, is a short intermediate passing. I think you're absolutely correct. That way they can negate the Tampa Bay's rush with Pat's dropbacks. As long as no one's getting destroyed at the snap.
Yeah.
I mean, and Vita Vea is a great player, but he's not an explosive interior guy. He's not Chris Jones. So you're not talking about having somebody in Patrick's face every down. He will get his. I think it's more about Patrick's got to control his drop and make sure that he's really clean about getting to that 8-yard depth and stopping.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did last week too. That was almost a prep for this game in a sense. He was getting to the top of his drop and the ball was coming out almost like immediately every single time. He knew where he had to go with the football and he was getting it out efficiently and quickly. So I think that prepped him for this game.
Yeah. Oh, but Ian thinks that it's more about Vea and Sue. I don't know.
I can understand that because Sue was dominant in the first matchup. They weren't really giving much attention to him against Wiley. Ryder was always looking in a different direction, which always confused me, especially without Vea. He wasn't even on the field in the first game, and he wasn't giving that attention to Sue, which, like I said, it was very confusing. So I think that they definitely have to watch what they're doing, and I would imagine they're going to put either Sue or Vea matched up one-on-one with Ryder because that's the matchup that is the worst out of all three of them right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. Kyle, I liked Winfield Jr. I didn't see him as playing the deep safety, which is, I think, what they need more than anything. So I didn't have him as high on my board.
Yeah, he's kind of been a Matthew type player. He's more in the box trying to do what he does, like Matthew, with reading the quarterback and making plays on the football that way. I don't see him having that sideline to sideline speed that they really want in interchanging safeties outside of,
as much as they can. Rocca, I'm not sure what I missed, but come back at me, man. Seth, I don't think that I see anything overly aggressive, particularly in free agency, because they got to get under the cap. But they will ride on their evaluations, and I think when they do, that may be moving up a little bit. I have a tendency to think they're going to pick where they are or move back.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Like you said, this really depends on the cap. We don't know what it's going to be right now. We have our assumptions, but until it's done, we don't really know. So I expect them to be aggressive in retaining guys that they really like, that they think they can get for cheap, like a Mike Remmers, for example. I think that's going to be a pretty big priority in the offseason. I personally think Remmers was the second best free agent acquisition outside of Matthew in the last 2 years. You look at what he's done this season, he's played the best football of his career, and he's helped the Chiefs get to where they are. So I don't know if they even get here without that Mike Remmers on the team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, especially bouncing back and forth from side to side, not just position to position.
Yeah.
Very good point. Stevie, you know that I'm with you. I think Fournette might have something to prove, and if he comes out with an attitude, he might catch fire. You never know, but I agree with you. Chubb is easily top back, in my opinion. Seth, if the Chiefs win next week, how motivating is it for 3 in a year? Frank already dropped back-to-back.
Yeah, he literally already did it.
He already said. I mean, Stone Cold too. So what happens if you win? He's like, we come back for 3. It was not a blink. It was awesome. If you're a Chiefs fan, you gotta love it.
They are not shy about talking about it. I can tell you that much.
No, if you got Pat Mahomes, you got him under contract for a decade. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you should.
How impactful is Sammy's return, especially now that Robinson is on COVID? It's huge. It has nothing to do with Robinson.
No.
It's huge because Sammy's Sammy. And I think Robinson's going to play. He was a close contact, not a direct or not an exposure himself. He doesn't have it. he's still negative. As long as he and Kilgore come back negative, they'll play.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Jake, thank you for your super chat. Appreciate it. And we are getting in here. Good to be here once again. I'm glad that you made it. And that being said, Erlon is in rough shape. Any free agents you'd be interested in signing? I haven't looked at the free agent class, you guys. I mean, quite frankly, the Super Bowl screws me up every year because when the Chiefs are in it, I can't do my normal draft stuff. Like, I'm behind on the draft. Yeah. Free agency is going to be a toss-up. I can maybe scramble here in a bit while Dan's answering a question or two, but off the top of my head, I don't see anybody in my mind's eye that I think, oh, hey, they have to go get him. He's going to be a value and be a fit in the zone.
I think, like I said earlier, it's just Mike Remmers at this point. He's going to be a free agent after this year. And he was such great, valuable depth for them. And he's a 100% swing tackle. He can play all 4 positions outside of center. And that's very valuable, especially when you're going for a three-peat. Injuries are going to happen. They're playing extended games. They're playing in all the games they can. So if they end up winning the Super Bowl, you have to figure, 1, he's in the system. He knows the system. And 2, you're going to have more injuries. We saw it this year with the Chiefs with COVID. Like, this isn't going to just stop. When you play more games, you're exposing yourself to more injuries. This is kind of how it is. And I expect them to do what they can to bring Remmers back. I think it's a priority.
Yeah, I think so too, especially when you know you might be having to put your eggs in the Niang basket.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Durant basket. Like, you need to have a vet behind them. Yevgeny, I certainly do. I think Spags understands how to get to Tom Brady. Period. The fact that he has guys that can do it better now than last season in terms of the blitz, especially, I feel is a big plus.
Yeah, Brady respects Spags a lot. Like, you listen to him today, he has a lot of respect for Steve Spagnuolo. That's telling you something right there.
Yes, that's Daniel Kilgore that went to the COVID-19 list today. Yeah. We'll have an update here towards the end of the week before they leave, which I think is Saturday morning.
Yep.
Why are we not seeing CH getting passes downfield, holding in the pocket for the Super Bowl with no confidence yet? I think it's mostly a function of the fact that Patrick is reading deep to shallow. And by the time he gets there, it's on the wings away from other coverage that he's waiting to develop or waiting for Travis to, do that S-curve thing. And I think that's what it is myself.
So I have a different opinion. I think that they have not needed to do it at all. The Chiefs have been so explosive on offense still. Teams have not just tried to shut everything deep down and play intermediate underneath. They're still allowing Tyreek Hill to get free. They're still allowing Travis Kelce to do whatever he wants to. And we've seen that both games in the playoffs. Both guys go over 100 yards in both games. When you it's very difficult to stop both guys. And when you have the options that the Chiefs have, unless you're just going to try to play cover 4 and take everything away for deep and try to do everything with Kelce underneath, you don't need any of the running back stuff. But the fact that it's there is just in the back of my mind, because I know that one of these days you're going to see a team just try to take everything away, and then they're just going to get Clyde over 100 yards receiving because he can do it in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it will be pretty quick. Jake, I do expect them to start out in too high, probably a cover 4 look, maybe shift it around. But yeah, I think they'll start the game where they ended the first contest in order to try to prevent what Tyreek did the first.
Yeah, they're going to have to bracket Tyreek. I think that they're going to have to do it all game, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Dan, have you seen Bucky Brooks' latest mock, Kadarius to the Chiefs?
I mean, I don't like Bucky Brooks at all. I think he's got some of the worst takes I've ever seen, but this is a good one, so good for him.
Pick a defensive MVP for the Chiefs.
Defensive, it's Matthew. Like, it's Matthew.
Yeah, and then it's Chris Jones.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2. Like, that's what it will be as long as those two are on the team for like the next however long it is. Like, that's what it's going to be.
How much does it bother you that our wide receiver tight end always getting underneath the chains and making moves before they get the first down? It is partly, again, the coverage that they're seeing. But yeah, I'm always one for throwing the ball past the sticks, not in front of it. But when you have Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, you do what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they're not Demarcus Robinson trying to do things he can't do, which I understand. So,
and that's the thing is you don't change the offense because Demarcus is in. And that's the problem, Michael. William, thank you for the super chat. Aloha. I'm glad you finally get to watch too. I didn't realize. Is it your opinion of what Spags wants to do to combat the Bucs offense? The big thing is Spags isn't afraid to go head to head. He'll take Bashaud Breeland on Mike Evans. So will I all day long.
All day.
And what it'll do is it'll allow him to play games. And that's what Spags is good at.
Yeah.
I think what they have to do is I think they have to sugar the snot out of him up front and make them think they're sending the house. They sent a couple of overloads last time, so I think they're going to be a little wary of that. And then I drop everybody out and just send 3. That's what I do up front. At least first quarter, I mean.
Yeah, he's going to play some mind games, but I think for the most part, he's going to do what he's done all postseason and all season. He's comfortable with it. This team has shown that the defense that's its strength. It can blitz, it can play man coverage, especially with receivers like Mike Evans that are bigger body that they can get hands on. I just feel like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. Doug, they can play. We don't know that they will. Let's see. Delmont, thank you very much for the super chat. I'm sorry that this Super Bowl can go either way. Yeah, I mean, that's why they play the games, man.
Yeah.
Anybody, I mean, I'm not even going to say it. You can do things that if somebody isn't on the field, whether it's, a receiver or somebody else, there are always things. That's why the games get played. I'm totally with you. Let's see. Joe, will LDT start next year?
Yes.
That is my thought as well. I'm
think it's a competition, to be honest with you.
By the way, love seeing him doing front squats in the snow.
Oh yeah,
just a personal favorite of mine.
He's still working.
If you guys are into to lifting and you don't do front squats, get on it. That's where men make their money. Ryan Watt, what's more critical outcome of the game, protecting Pat or pressuring Brady? Is this answer always Mahomes? No, actually, it's not, because Pat is making do with a mid-level offensive line. You put pressure on Brady and it collapses.
Mid-level?
Hey, I'm being nice.
You're being nice. You're being nice. It's one of the worst offensive lines the Chiefs have had since Andy Reid's been here.
Noah Wiley's mom is watching. Be nice.
It's not. It's a function of the fact that you take UDFAs, you take 6th and 7th round picks, and you try to put them into a starting offensive line. I understand developing guys with high upside. The fact of the matter is, it's not always going to work. You need talent as well as some of those guys that can develop. That's just a fact of the matter, and they haven't done well enough of getting a lot of talent in that offensive line.
They're behind the curve a little bit. It takes some investment.
Yeah. Dan
Thompson, thank you, sir. Brother Candy Creek, besides the obvious, Hill and Kelsey, who do you see having a great game? Sammy, maybe? What do you think, Dan?
This is bred for Sammy Watkins, guys. They're after what the Chiefs did to the Bucs in the first game, they almost have to double Hill on every down. The attention will still be on Kelsey after that. And who do you think is going to be left one-on-one with guys he can just beat? It's going to be Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And a little bit of taste for McCole Harmon, maybe. Kurt, thank you very much. That's a huge super chat.
Incredible. Thank you.
Cheers. I'm hoping there's a question of yours down below, but thank you very much. We appreciate it. Ruthless Monkey, you have a good question. What's your opinion of J.J. Watt in a KC uniform?
Yes.
It's a beautiful dream.
Yes. I'll just say yes. I can't give you guys anything other than that, because we all know that money is what it is.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. I think Watson's going to force his way out of Houston, so I don't think there's any way they're getting rid of JJ. That's my personal thought.
I think they're all going to rebuild.
Yeah, well. Ian, Sneed was the best rookie corner this year with less games. He's going to be back. Yep. Watkins expects to play with a monster postseason. Who do you think is more important, Sneed or Watkins?
I think it's Sneed. I think
like the way
the more irreplaceable of the two, and mostly because we've seen this offense without Sammy Watkins, and unfortunately, I'm not going to say he's a replaceable player in terms of what he brings to the offense, but you don't notice as much when he's not on the field because they've had to do it quite a bit more. So they found ways to manufacture offense around him, and people still don't cover Tyreek Hill anyway, so it's not like it matters.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you completely. That was my thought too. The dip down is not as dramatic in my opinion. Neil, thank you for the super chat. Are you worried about the Chiefs beating themselves, penalties and turnovers? I've said all year, only they can beat themselves. Turnovers, yes. I think that they could get pressured into some things. I think ball security isn't generally an issue. Penalties, I'm not that worried about.
Yeah, the postseason has been pretty actually good for all teams in terms of penalties. I haven't seen a whole lot of penalties, and the Chiefs have been pretty good in that. what it comes down to me is Patrick Mahomes not having the first 3 quarters he had against the 49ers. I don't think that's like in the Super Bowl last year. I don't think that this defense, the secondary particularly, especially without their safeties, which it doesn't look like they're going to be close to fully healthy if they play in this game. I don't think that they have the type of secondary that can do what Robert Saleh did in the postseason last year. They really did a good job of shutting things down from a schematic standpoint. I don't feel the same way about the Bucs defense. Now, they could just come out and prove me wrong, which they have yet to do. So that's always a possibility.
There's 1 game left in the season. You got 4 quarters. You figure it out. Maybe they do. You never know. I do want to say Ryan White. I haven't watched any of Hubert yet from K-State. I don't know if Dan has.
I have not been able to do much draft anything, especially now with the Super Bowl on Sunday.
We'll get to that this coming week after the Super Bowl, you guys. Brady will not be scrambling or running the ball. Do we drop 8 most of the time? No. Spags isn't going to do that.
That would make him go crazy. Spags would just be right there, like jittering and like touching his fingers to his face. He'd be like antsy. I got a blitz. I got a blitz.
Yeah. It would drive him insane not to blitz. Hopefully it can be sporadic so that he keeps Tom lulling into a sense of safety. I hope the offense jumps out of their butts. Okay, that's cool. Like the firepower in Wyandotte County, KC on Labor Day. Delmont, I like your thoughts.
That would be one way to start a Super Bowl instead of the other way that they did last year.
Hey. So. Jason, happy Super Bowl week. And to you, feeling like a spoiled Chiefs fan, what are the odds of the Chiefs pulling off the only 3-peat in history? Let's get through 2 first.
Yeah. I'm not like the Chiefs of this Chiefs defense. I don't really want to talk about it until it's a possibility. Right now, it's not necessarily a possibility yet. So
this is an interesting one we don't get very often. Ryan Langford, what's your guys' relationship? How did you connect with each other? And what's Dan's background? Just curious.
I played in high school. I joined the military. My passion's always been football. And then when I got out, I just kind of fell into this years after. I tried multiple times to write on my own, just to do something, to build something up on my own. It never really hit. And then I found Twitter. That's pretty much what did it for me. I got involved I got involved in some fan posts. I started watching film, reading, and then things just kind of took off from there, to be honest with you. I'm not entirely sure how yet. I'm still trying to come through to terms like this is what I get to do. So it's been a wild ride the last 3 years.
I think the first place I heard your name was through Arrowhead Guys and Tony. I'm not sure how I
don't remember, but we were on Twitter for quite a while before.
We were arguing about something, right?
I would imagine so. We've argued with stuff before I actually started to really understand the game, so probably.
I didn't say that, anyone. That was him. Again, just happy to watch a live show. I'm really glad that you can. That's awesome. Both of you, please give your pick at 32. Wow. Pipe dreams? Can we do anything?
I'm going realistic, and I think Creed Humphrey will still be on the board at 32, and I think that's an instant improvement to the center position, 100% go.
Yeah, I haven't watched his film. He seems pretty smart, and I liked him in the one-on-ones there.
And he can play all 5 positions.
Yeah, and that's a huge plus. That has Chiefs written on it. That might be the most, if I'm hopeful, I'd hope that Jalen Waddle falls that far. I don't think that he will. So for me, I'd be looking at, is there anybody like Collins, the linebacker from Tulsa, or anybody that feels like they should have a mid-round grade that doesn't get selected for some reason, that you get value at 32. Otherwise, I'm bailing for the 40s myself.
I get it.
Let's see here. William Simpson, Eric Miller. Do you think they'll double both those guys?
They can't.
They can't. I think you might see them try to do it at a time or two when they think it's a running down or something, just to make sure. But yeah, you can't do it all game. You'll just expose yourself. So it's going to be, Let's see. Yevgeny, since they're playing with backup tackles, which running back Chiefs roster held the best pass protection? That's Darryl. Yeah. Do you see Frank Clark truly being a playoff or bust guy? Looking like taking a step back in his play.
Well, I think that there's some truth to that. I also think he's finally a bit healthier than we saw earlier in the season. Like we've talked about, we'll never know if he was actually hurt, but it sounds to me like what he's dealing with his stomach issue or what his intestines issue is going to be an ongoing process. So if it's something he has to deal with at any point throughout the season, his play is going to kind of go up and down based on how he's feeling that game.
Yeah, I agree. Stevie, you have a very interesting question. One that I got asked on radio twice today. That I snuck my way out of both times.
I'll just boldface tell him yes.
Yeah, right.
They didn't try.
His questions is, did they purposely not counter Todd Bowles' adjustments in the second half as to not give things away? And the answer is yes. They could have then readjusted. They felt like they had enough in the bag, particularly that game, that they didn't have to do that. And they're saving everything for this next 4 quarters. It's all holds barred. You can do whatever you want, whatever you have to do to get it done. And I think, I think another thing Devin White said today is he's like, I kind of know what Travis Kelce's going to do from his alignment, and we've seen all their plays. And I'm like, bro, you have not seen all their plays. Not even close.
You can tell he's brand fresh new in front of this stuff. Like he's just talking.
Well, I think that was a lie too. I think he knows more than that. I'm just saying.
I would hope so. He knows better to say the stuff because why would you go out there and just randomly start saying things you know aren't true, for no reason?
No, I think he's a super smart player, and I think he's being crafty and trying to throw everybody off. The problem is only us people that are listening are media and fans, so you're not doing anything for the team, man. Jason, did I already get this one? For the game plan, what do you expect the Chiefs to take advantage of and leverage against this team?
So I think they're going to do what we saw against the Bills. They're going to do a lot of short passing game stuff early because that's going to negate the pass rush as much as you possibly can and help the offensive line. And I think that they're going to be successful with that, especially considering if they come out and press coverage, guess what's going to happen? Just start waving by to the guys like they're going to run by you.
And Poofy was gone. Would you like to see Sherman, another tight end, stay in and block on passes and give Mahomes more time? I would like to see Sherman maybe line up in the backfield at times because you can motion him out if you want. But if you're in max protect, I think that does help you and still allow Travis to go out in the routes. Yeah,
I'm going to be doing a piece. I'm going to write a piece tomorrow for Arrowhead guys about this specific option, the offensive line, what they're going to do. I think that they've done earlier in the season that we saw to help the offensive line at times. And it's going to involve a lot of chipping, running backs, tight ends, whatever it is. It's just however they've managed to really offset some of the pass rush issues they're going to have to face.
Yeah. I mean, they could get very creative, to tell you the truth. I would not put anything past them. Avery, great question. Any bold predictions? I got CH as the first Super Bowl MVP rookie. I like it.
That's a very bold prediction there. I have Chris Jones with 3 sacks in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2 picks, 4 PBUs for my boy Sneed.
That would be enough to get him MVP.
That's what I'm saying. Might as well, right? Kyle, is Tershawn the UDFA the Chiefs the best? I'm guessing UDFA the Chiefs have had. Certainly, in quite a long time. Yeah, in Andy's tenure at least.
Yeah, he's been incredible. I know he hasn't shown up as much lately, but he's still putting pressure up back there. He's still winning, which is important to see.
Yeah. Keaton, interesting question. Does Scotty get the peace sign? I assume that you're talking about special teams because Tyreek and Scotty are not going to be on the field at the same time.
I think he's talking about he's going to point to the sideline as he's running by.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I don't know. You never know. I mean, Tyreek needs motivation too. Motivation is where you find it, and if that's what it is, and not to take away from Scotty Miller, he's a good athlete. Yeah. He's faster than the Chiefs corners, except for Sneed. So, I mean, he is legitimate in being fast. He's just not Tyreek fast.
And also, you can be fast, but there's a reason he's got 25 catches on a year. 1, he's buried on the depth chart, and 2, he can't get off press either. He's not crafty enough yet in his skill set to get off press coverage.
Let me look here. He played 10 snaps against the Chiefs in week 12. In the wild card and the divisional round, he played 8 snaps apiece.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
And in the championship game, when he had corners, they played him because he had corners he could beat with speed. He played 27 snaps out of 60. So it's still not a heavy dosage.
That's without Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Tyler Johnson's more of a threat than Scotty Miller is.
Who can cover Gronk and Brady? Anybody they decide to make do it.
Okay, so who to, not who can. Okay, I read
Yeah.
who can. And I was like, no, that's not how that works. Gronk actually has not done anything outside of the Chiefs game in the last 10 games.
But that is a significant thing, though.
That's
Like he
yes.
has this team. So like the question is, you can't put Neiman on him. What are they going to do? They're going to put Sorensen on him. That's going to be my guess. The problem is he's not going to do anything for 3 quarters, and then he's going to lull you to sleep, and all of a sudden he's going to get these play action passes because nobody's paying any attention to him.
That's exactly what he does. The last 2, 3, 4 times they played against him, that's what happens.
It's kind of sad. It is what it is, though. Do you think that Byron Pringle can be the X factor? Basically, the guy on the Bucs don't really think he's a threat. Byron can knock him silly if he wants. It's about the opportunity with Sammy out there. I'm not sure he gets much time.
Unless DeMarcus comes back as positive during this time, I don't see him playing as many offensive snaps, which is, it's an unfortunate because I think he's a very good receiver. But Sammy's if he's good to go, he's going to play upwards of 75, 80% of the snaps.
Yeah. I would love to see Pringle getting the returns, though.
Yes, I would too.
A good way to get him on the field. Cody, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it. Looking at this draft in particular, both tackles question marks for the future. How likely is it that we take a tackle early? And one of my best buddies, Tevin Jenkins, is projected late first or second round. Very nice. He's actually on my watch list, so that's cool. Tell him I said hi. And I do think that depending on the grade, because I haven't looked at all the tackles, but I know there's a lot of them. So taking him in the first round, even at 32, becomes kind of a reach if you have a volume of guys down below that you can get from.
It's a deep tackle class. And if you're looking at value at 32, 31 for a tackle, it's probably not there. It's probably somewhere else at wide receiver. Interior probably too, because interior is not always as deep as tackle is. So that's where I'm personally looking if they're going to go offense. I think interior or wide receiver is where we're going to end up seeing a pick.
Kurt Bingham.
Kurt, thank you.
Number 2. We appreciate that. That is awful generous, and thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I think I see that you did ask a question down here, so I'm going to get to that here real quick right after Ryan's. And Ryan's is Chiefs have utilized speed option on many fourth downs and have got to have situations. Is it possible that Andy's setting up the Bucs to study the film and have a similar look in a different way? It's possible, but it's not a whole lot of things you're going to run off the speed option other than step back and throw it. So,
yeah, they use a lot of different motions. We saw with a conversion to Darrell Williams earlier in the postseason that they used motion to the back with Tyreek from right to left. That got the entire defense moving that way. They went back to the right for Darrell. So they have tons of different options on these kind of things. So there's so much that they can do.
Watch for Patrick in motion. I will tell you guys that. Just watch for Patrick in motion. He hasn't done it in a couple of weeks. I think he's going to do it. Kurt, thank you. Here's your question. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Pick the 2-3 jet wasp play for SV 55. I think it might come on a deep over route again, similar to wasp. But I think instead of being like start from the outside, I think Tyreek will start in the slot, stem like he's just going post or corner, and then bend it all the way over and he gets it on the other sideline.
I'm not so sure they go back to wasp for this game. I think that they don't necessarily need to. And I hesitate to say it, but I think that they can get Sammy Watkins on any over route they want to in this game.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that they're going to end up going, because we've seen that they've still attacked deep with Tyreek from the slot and he goes diagonally across the field. I think you do that because it not only attacks the safety from one side and the opposite side, but it takes attention away from the middle because he's coming screaming across the middle of the field to the opposite side. That's where we can see some of those over routes from Watkins and Kelsey just destroy the middle of the field.
Yeah. I'm going to save Aaron here. Philip Johnson, we ask you to put question marks before the question so that I can see them, because it's my fault that I'm not seeing your questions. It's not Aaron's fault. But I'll answer your question. You'll only see Tyreek punt returning if something goes wrong and they feel they need a big play out of it. Dan, am I wrong?
I think they might do it in the very first one of the game.
Oh, yeah, just to set the tempo?
Just to do it. Be like, hey, guess what, guys? We're not holding out anything.
It's all out there. Safiso asks, do y'all feel that Mahomes is the GOAT? Talk in the media creates an unneeded hate for him when there is nothing to hate about him. I don't think so. I mean, I meet fans from all kinds of teams, and I don't feel the hate. Do you?
It's there, but those are people that feel the need to hate for no reason. Like, that's just what it is. Patrick Mahomes has never done anything outside of be a stand-up person, a great NFL player, and an example for pretty much everybody. So if you see people in like Twitter comments and stuff saying hating on him or saying like this or that, just like take it, because that's just what they want. They want the attention. That's all it's for.
I'm with you. Samuel Sneed is cleared. He is back on the field. He's out of the concussion protocol, so that's good. Seth, I saw your question. We're not going to deal with the mock drafts now. That's what next week and the week after is for. So we're talking Super Bowl tonight. Bruce, thank you for your super chat. What's your favorite matchup on the field that the Chiefs can exploit?
Whoever is covering Travis Kelce. It doesn't matter. They don't have anybody that can, because I think that they're going to bracket Hill, and that means that Travis is still going to be one-on-one with somebody. And whoever it is, he's going to burn him.
I want to make sure I get this right. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because I don't want to be accused of being wrong all the time, because, you know, it happens. Yeah, okay. 24. Okay? Carlton Davis. Yes. It doesn't matter if it's Tyreek. It doesn't matter if it's man. Go at him with everyone and see what happens. He's played well down the stretch, but those memories get burned into you. So I say attack. I didn't want to say the wrong number. I
get that. I
make small mistakes a lot, and people like
just said Carlton Davis and not even said the number. But
I was trying to be
build up. Okay,
come on, man. I don't have a whole lot of showmanship, but I try. Let's see. Neil Ely, the Bucs are better than the Chiefs at.
Well, I think the Bucs are better than the Chiefs at run defense. Like, not even close.
Yeah, that is for sure. And I will tell you this: they're better at running the ball.
Yeah, they are, because they also make an real effort to do so, because Tom Brady can't sit back there and throw 50 times a game anymore. That's not how this works.
Yeah. Info. This is an interesting one, Dan. You take this. If Wiley plays well at right tackle again, does he come back as the front runner for right tackle next year if Schwartz retires?
I think he definitely gets his hat thrown in the ring, because that's not just a one-game sample size. You have the one game, you have the end of the Bills game, then you have a game against the Bucs in the Super Bowl, who have a very good tandem that he's going to end up going against. I think that it's more than enough to give you a sample size that you can take in the next year and say, look, you did really good in these two spots that we needed you. Can you come in and be the starter for a full season? Which, if he does, like I said, in this game, I definitely think he can.
Yeah, I agree with you. Universal, I'm going to put it at 2.5, Dan. Over, under, trick plays.
Part of me really wants to say under, because I don't think they need them. I'm gonna say under. I'll say under.
Okay, I'll take the over. That's fine. I think it'll just be fun. Ben Davidson, thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate you guys, what you guys do. Thank you very much. The sausage has been flying under the radar as usual. Do you see Sherman getting involved? And if so, how?
This would be the game to do it. The game. He has been not used since his touchdown earlier in the season. This would be a game to do it. Maybe leak him out, pass block, leak him out like they did with Eric Fisher. Like, I would love to see him score a touchdown in this football game. It'd be great.
I'm going to tell you this. If he's lined up in the H, off the line of scrimmage, he's getting an underhand pass. I'm just telling you that. And I think it would be glorious. If you want to hurt somebody, if you want to wear down a defense, send Sherm at him over and over and over. It'll be great. And if you're up 30 points at the time, then that's great.
Ask the Chiefs defense how they felt about Kyle Juszczyk after last year's Super Bowl.
Right. Now, Sherm's not, I fully admit Sherm's not Juszczyk, but the
He's not Juszczyk.
No, I didn't want anybody to say that I said that. No. William, McColl going to have a few touches because the Bucs totally focusing on Tyreek.
Yeah.
I think so, yes. Especially if they take those couple of snaps, and I think they will, to try and double them both and say, make somebody else beat us. I think McColl can take him to the house.
It's gonna happen.
Let's see. Michael, how concerned are you with Sue playing dirty and getting on Mahomes after the whistle? Anytime Sue's on the field, you got to be concerned about it.
That's exactly it. You just have to do everything you can to not let him near him.
Yeah, I mean, that is what it comes down to. That's what those offensive linemen are for. So, especially with Wiz out there, and I think that's where Sue's going to line up most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm fairly comfortable with it. Now, that's not to say that Wiz is what he used to be. He is slowing down. But that veteran experience goes a long way.
It's also the strength aspect. He's better against strength than he is against quickness.
Yeah, for sure. Love you, Wiz, but hey. Norm, thank you very much. Is Gay our next Derek Johnson? I can't tell you that yet.
No. That's one thing you need to see him in a full system, full season to really get that feel. We've seen him in spurts, and he's looked very good, but Derek Johnson was something else, guys. I think we kind of forget because he was on some bad teams, and then he finally caught a little bit with the Chiefs and with Alex Smith. But Derek Johnson was different. He was different.
Well, and let's remember too, Derek had to get benched before he got good.
Yeah,
you know, he was putzing along, living on UT time. You know what I mean? Like, and the reputation that came with him.
Felt like he didn't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, and he really took that benching to heart, and that was something that he needed, and that's when he became elite. And so, I don't know. We'll just have to see how Willie does. Longmorn, thank you again as always. 2 short passes to speed up the offense. Wear out the D line. Have we really ran up tempo except for half of a game?
No, not really.
No, not
they don't have to.
No, and if they want to, good Lord, watch out.
Exactly. Like if they feel like they come into this game and they're like, yeah, let's do a little bit of up tempo.
Bro, they come out no huddle, it's over.
Yeah, that's when you know that they think that they can do whatever they want to. Yeah. They can do whatever they want.
Zero concerns. Now, I don't think that's what I would do because I respect the Bucs defense enough to say I'm not going to go up, no huddle right away.
That would be the biggest screw you move at all.
It would be a slap.
It would be the biggest slap in the face of the defense. Like, we don't respect you in the slightest.
Yeah. Ben, we don't know if Dan's going to get eligible or not, and Ryder will get the first shot, I guarantee you.
Kilgore's not coming in unless of injury if he's ready to go.
Yeah. Real KTB, thank you very much. I'll look for a question for you down below. Let's see. John Barrier, thank you, as always, for being a member. Game plan, first play, 80-yard deep post to Hill. To shut up Miller. Eddie don't care.
I love the pettiness. I love that.
Josh, over under 5 sacks for the Chiefs. I'm going to take the under.
Well, since I already have a bold prediction with Chris getting 3, I'm going to say over.
Okay, well done. I like it. Let's see. Yeah, Stacy, that's exactly what we're talking about. That's Scotty Miller. Yeah, it's yeah.
The fact that people had to actually talk about it the next day is what really drove it home for me. Like, you guys have nothing to talk about.
Hey, Scotty accomplished his goal. The whole country talked about him.
Yes, exactly.
He's all right. Kyle Black, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's see. Avery, do you think that Arians' risk it, no biscuit philosophy has the guy to go deep in the first series? I hope, because Breland is going to snatch it.
Yeah,
I think so. I mean, it certainly would be like, hey, Tom, come on out and make a point. I would not put that past BA in for anything. Is it going to pay off? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they can get away with a deep shot in the first series of the game.
No, and it's not Breland, although, Avery, I like the way you're thinking. It's Thornhill.
It's Thornhill coming over.
That's what I'm seeing. He dang near jumped in front of one last week that I was like, if he does that in the Super Bowl, he's going to get that. Yep. RPO not 2 blasted autocorrect. Okay, sorry, I missed that long one, but thank you again. Yes, RPOs are awesome in this offense for this guy, and I do think he'll still have the plate underneath his big toe, and I think that actually helps him.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about the flexion. Sorry, while I mute this phone call, you guys. But the flexion isn't a big concern, I don't think, unless he's really hurt. I think he's going to be all right. Delmont, or remember when Derek Thomas used to come through the hood? He would buy ice cream from everybody. Really? I didn't know that an ice cream truck, an actual ice cream truck? I haven't seen one of those in forever.
Really?
Back in the day, when
they can't get to you.
Delmont, common sense is a thin commodity these days. I remember those days somewhat fondly as well. And it is one of my big regrets. I never got to meet Derek Thomas. I actually was in the building a few times while he was still there the year before he passed. That's a regret of mine. Lego, 0. Dan, am I right? 10? Okay.
10% chance.
Look at you with the ray of sunshine. Is it possible for McColl to be the MVP of the Super Bowl?
No.
I'm not going to argue.
I love him, guys. I do. I like McCall, but that does not exist in this game.
Was it the Week 12 Bucs game that Mahomes threw behind Hardman on a play that would have broke wide open? Probably.
No, that was the Saints game.
Oh, was it? Okay. Dan knows his memory's better than mine. He's young.
I literally just watched it today. So
okay. All right, I feel better then. That's nice. Julian, I like the safety out of Oregon, Holland. He reminds me of a better version of Dirty Dan. Please look at him, and either of you will. We'll get into the draft box. We definitely will. We're going to do mock drafts for you all off season, you guys. We might end up both doing mock drafts every other week or every week. I had one person ask me to do 4 of them. Each of us do one every other day all week long. I'm like, dude, there's more to life than mock
drafts. With that. I could do one every single day.
Yeah, okay.
I could not. I wouldn't get tired of it either. But
you guys let us know in the comments. Well, you watch one every single day.
I will be doing one on Twitter every single week. I'll have a different one every week for you guys. So,
oh, Stevie, why do you do this to me, folks?
You said no.
No, I didn't. Love you, sure. Seth Stewart, Bucs advantage is as it's a home game. For me, it's the prep. It's the, like spending time with your family, like being able to relax more when you have time to relax and being able to sleep better is my opinion.
Yeah, they don't have to travel, but I'll let you guys know that the Chiefs were undefeated on the road this year. And Patrick Mahomes, his level of play shoots up when they're on the road. Their third down conversions go up when they're on the road. This is a road team, and the fact that it's actually a home game for Tampa Bay, I think hurts them.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very good point. This is an interesting one. Denny B, thank you very much. Bigger game, Kelsey or Hill?
Oh man, this is actually very difficult because I think Kelsey has the better opportunity because I think White's going to have to cover him, and I don't think David's going to be fully healthy to do so. And I think that's a matchup you can exploit all day and twice on Sunday, like that they can just go to him. They can go back to the well until they start bringing guys down. That's when you start taking shots over the top. So I'm going to go with Kelsey in this specific game.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. I think they're going to take Ty away as much as they can.
They have to.
Yeah. I mean, he'll make a couple plays. He'll get loose.
Yes.
But they're going to try to lock him down. He's going to get a lot of it.
We saw against the Bills, a 5-yard slant turns into a 71-yard gain.
Bingo. That mesh thing that you all saw that I broke down last week in the red zone, mesh is going to be a big thing in this game, I think.
Yes.
The 2 Bucs safeties going to play, or are they injured? They're both injured. We don't know if they're going to get back enough to play or not.
I've not seen if they've practiced or not.
I wanted to say that Winfield was, quote unquote, getting better. Haven't seen anything on Whitehead yet. It is Whitehead is his name, right? Yeah, Jordan. So we just don't know. Ryan, Allegretti can handle himself against Vea, but Veda's quicker than he gets credit for. Strength on strength, I like that for Allegretti, but he's just got to watch his feet.
He'll get beat by some of those moves. Like they're all going to get beat by some of the quicker guys on the Bucs. They just will.
Yeah. Longmorn, no. Fisher's hands are better.
Yeah, they're still good though. Like they look really good at tackle.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Aaron. I always forget to mention this, you guys. If you want to help the channel, grab some gear in the RGR store. If you want me to customize it that says, Dan knows everything and Ryan sucks, I can do something like that. Just got to give me some time. But yeah.
I can promise you that's never going to be the point. I'm still very new to this, guys.
Real estate agent Jack Thomas, how are you? I like the whole title in your name. What are the chances that War blows coverage and leads to Bucs points? 50-50.
Well, even if he does blow the coverage, I think that Juan's got his speed back. So that's probably more of a 30-70 thing for me. I think that he's got less chance of blowing the coverage leading to points now that Thornhill looks to be back to full health.
Well, and I will tell you this too. I think that they've been playing good team defense, and that's exactly what that's about. Let's see. Okay, we're going to wind it up here, folks, because I know we're well over, and we're hitting an hour right now. So, Maximo, thank you for your super sticker. I appreciate it. Let's see. Question. Okay, Ben, have you watched Lucas Niang's training videos on YouTube?
Oh, he's got training videos on YouTube, but no idea.
Yeah, I somebody had to tweet me the thing with LDT. So if y'all know, tweet them at me at Ryan Tracy NFL, and Dan's at D_Harms19. Look, I did it right.
You've been doing it right for the last couple months now. I think you got it down.
I still amaze myself when I do it right. So it is what it is. Oh, there we go. Old pal. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Hope you're having a good row there. I think it's your rowing night, so that's cool. There was a message about yep, we're going past that one. I should have known better. Not twice.
Say, you have to know that, right?
I know I should know that. John Barrett for Dan. How long do you think the O-line has to hold to give PM15 time to make plays?
2.5 seconds. That's the sweet spot. They're gonna have that all day if they get to 2.5 seconds. I think Pat's perfectly comfortable making plays in that amount of time.
Alex, I have never looked at TikTok. I thought TikTok was all for dancing and whatnot. Like my kids look at TikTok, so I ain't on there. But hey, I don't know. We should talk about it sometime because maybe Dan will do it for me.
Nope, I can tell you that that's not going to happen right now.
No, Aaron, I have not. For those of you who don't know, Brit Chief started a new podcast. It's here on YouTube. I want to say, I think it's him and Tom every week. I'm not sure. But go check it out. It's hilarious, and it's good to see our friends from the UK get back into it. Michael asked, what about wearables with the new logo? They're all on there. Everything that's on the store now has been updated to the cool new design. Thank you, Michael. And for everyone that contributed to that, who will remain anonymous until he doesn't want to be anonymous anymore. But yeah, they're all on there. And I'm working on some other designs. I've got one Mahomes one coming out that's going to be epic that I think you guys are really going to dig. So we're going to leave it with Aaron since our fearless mod is here. And thank you, Aaron, for all that you do. Excellent questions tonight. Great conversation. And we appreciate you guys being here, like 500 of us here on a Monday night. We'll do the post-game thing. And Andy, I'm not answering that one. I've been asked for a Discord several times, Jake. That's a good question. I'll look into that. I just don't have time to like moderate or anything. So we'll have to come back to that one. But tomorrow I'll have a first draft for you. I'm almost done. I'm going to be editing till like 2 a.m. tonight, you guys. I've got that short film just about ready. I think you're really going to dig it. And it's very much not just about the team, but about Chiefs Kingdom itself. So I hope that you'll dig that. That'll go up probably Wednesday because I'm not going to get up by tomorrow night. So Wednesday or Thursday, one of those two, and Dan will have film. And then I'll have something as well, probably a short that'll go up maybe midday someday, and then we'll do the game plan on Friday. Danilo has the corner on Saturday, and you'll see something from me on Sunday morning, probably short and sweet. So I'm excited. I hope you are excited. Dan, thanks for all the time tonight.
Oh, yeah. This is always so much fun. And this week's going to be awesome, guys. Stay tuned. It's going to be definitely going to be worth it. Enjoy. You can sleep in March. It's fine. Who needs to sleep? All right. You guys have a great night. We'll be back with you tomorrow on the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking the like and the sub and the bell. For those of you that aren't, and for every new member and every super chat tonight, we thank you very much. Kurt, you're the man. You guys have a good night. We'll talk to you next time.